The Nigerian Economic Summit Group, in its role as connector, dialogue partner, watchdog, and intervener,
when you first start business, your target is to make your first million.
Seeks to change the narrative and trajectory of the Nigerian economy. Together with our partners, we're not just solving problems, but preventing them, because when advocacy succeeds, the nation transforms for the better. But advocacy is for the strong. It takes fact-based inputs, resilience, partnerships, courage, and a lot of heroes. So be our hero. Subscribe to our channel, listen to our messages, and engage with us. Together, we can transform Nigerian lives, communities, and businesses. Welcome to the NESG Radio.
On July 28, 2021, the public sector, represented by the Federal Ministry of Finance, Budget and National Planning, and the organized private sector, represented by the Nigerian Economic Summit Group, formally inaugurated the Joint Planning Committee for the 27th Nigerian Economic Summit, NESG. Please listen to the chairman of the NESG, Mr. Aswe Igudalu, giving his opening speech at the inauguration.
The Honourable Minister of State for Budget and National Planning, my brother, Prince Clem Agba. Good morning, sir, and thank you very much for joining us this morning. The Permanent Secretary, Federal Ministry of Budget and National Planning, here ably represented. The Chief Executive Officer of the Nigerian Economic Summit Group, Larry Jayola. The co-chairpersons, and all the members of the Joint Planning Committee for the 27th Nigerian Economic Summit, NES27, all members of the fourth estate of the realm who are here present, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. It is indeed my honor and privilege to address you today on this important occasion of the formal inauguration of NES27 Joint Planning Committee, which marks the official kickoff of preparations for the 27th Nigerian Economic Summit, which will be held in Abuja on the 25th and 26th of October 2021. Since February 1993, the annual Nigerian Economic Summits have been the foremost platform through which the government engages with leaders in the private sector, social space, and civil society to discuss Nigeria's national and subnational economic realities and suggest effective solutions. Through this process, we have co-created reform strategies that have played a critical role in the advancement and reform of the Nigerian economy. However, we've also experienced occasional disappointments in policy choices, effective collaboration, and in policy and reform implementation. With the present state of the Nigerian economy, the increase in unemployment, pervasive insecurity, dwindling investments in critical sectors, and increasing debt stock, the time is ripe to review the path chosen for securing a long-term future for Nigeria that guarantees every citizen's right to economic prosperity, social upliftment, political certainty, environmental balance, and physical safety. In its Q4 2020 report released early this year, the National Bureau of Statistics stated that Nigeria exited recession with a marginal GDP growth of 0.11%. Unfortunately, due to the weak correlation between output and key economic indicators, the recent GDP growth is muted by our subsisting economic comorbidities. While government revenue is projected to improve, it is expected that prices and interest rates will remain high as inflationary pressures persist. Worst-case economic scenarios appear to suggest that Nigeria is heading towards a period of great economic turmoil, with heightened insecurity, massive unemployment, and increased poverty. Nigeria has faced significant challenges in the past and is no stranger to weathering these challenges. It, however, seems that the various challenges of today and the multiple angles from which the pressures are simultaneously generated are creating conditions for a most difficult kind of challenge, from which recovery may be extremely slow and painful. Governments at all levels must intensify efforts to address all our challenges that make it difficult to effectively grow our economy and pull our citizens out of poverty. In particular, we must resolve our insecurity challenges, given that a secure environment is a precondition for economic growth, job creation, and poverty reduction. The question therefore arises, how can we, as quickly as possible, turn these economic vulnerabilities around into strengths and reverse the negative tide and secure Nigeria's future? Honorable Minister, it is important to reiterate that with the current state of the Nigerian economy, it has become essential that Nigeria adopts a different approach and recalibrates its strategies with a profound sense of urgency in finding workable measures and concerted action towards achieving economic growth and national security. At the 25th Nigerian Economic Summit, stakeholders emphasized the need for a successor plan to the long-term National Vision 2020, which expired last year. Based on those recommendations, the NESG, representing the private sector, is currently collaborating with the Federal Ministry of Finance, Budget and National Planning towards developing the long-term National Economic Development Plan, the Nigeria Agenda 2050. We hope that this National Economic Plan will be diligently and efficiently implemented to evolve a developed, inclusive, stable, peaceful, safe, and secure Nigeria. Sir, with such unsettling economic trends and indicators, the time to act is now. The 27th Nigerian Economic Summit will present a platform for stakeholders to highlight Nigeria's core socioeconomic vulnerabilities and the associated risks, to come up with solutions that alleviate these vulnerabilities while exploring potential opportunities and priorities that will accelerate economic development. Leveraging this unique public-private partnership platform, we shall all work assiduously towards ensuring a summit that will produce the outcomes and impacts required to reverse poor economic trends, improve our human capital base, mitigate security challenges, and set Nigeria on its path to a future sustained inclusive economic growth. Some may ask, what will be different about this summit? And we will all answer that the urgency of now makes it different. We are grateful to the President, His Excellency, President Muhammadu Buhari, GCFR, and the Vice President, His Excellency, Professor Yemi Osinbajo, SAN, GCON, for their continued support and great commitment to the Nigerian project. We also very respectfully thank the Honorable Minister for Finance, Budget and National Planning, and the Honorable Minister of State for Budget and National Planning, our co-collaborators and public sector champions, for their commitment to sustaining this process, their sacrifice, and their extreme hard work. I thank the co-chairmen and all the members of the Joint Planning Committee who have agreed to serve to deliver a first-class summit, the outcome of which we hope will propel our economic rebound. To turn our economy around in the shortest possible time, we must deepen the trust and collaboration between the public and private sectors. Only the private sector, through patient and well-focused local and foreign investments, can create the jobs that Mr. President has promised to deliver to ensure that 100 million Nigerians are pulled out of poverty within the shortest possible time. An enabling environment that attracts such capital must now be speedily created. We must deepen the trust and collaboration between the public and private sectors. It is imperative that the 27th summit deepens the trust, collaboration, and the bond between the public and private sectors, and the private sector continues to respond with great discipline and love of country. As I conclude, Honorable Minister, let me reiterate the NESG's total commitment and pledge to sustain this partnership and the dialogue process to further our shared common agenda to reform the Nigerian economy into a flourishing and globally competitive economy. I thank you all most sincerely for attending today. I thank you in advance for all of the hard work that you will do, and I look forward to the best organized and most impactful summit ever. Thank you, and God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
Also, listen to the remarks of the Honorable Minister of State for Budget and National Planning, Honorable Prince Clem Agba.
The Chairman, NESG, let me stand on the protocol that you have already very well established. I listened carefully to your speech, and I just wanted to assure the team that it's not all that gloomy. You did talk about some marginal improvement in GDP, and you also talked about the inflation rates. It is gratifying to know that the inflation rate is beginning to come down in the last 2 months. It's showing a downward trajectory, and we want to believe that it's going to continue that way. In the last couple of weeks, I've done a couple of travels, and I've engaged a couple of other ministers from other countries. And one thing I see is a global challenge that we are having. And I want to thank you and your team for the work that you are doing with us and the resilience that we begin to see in our own economy. It is my pleasure to address you this afternoon from Rome on this very important occasion of the formal inauguration of the Joint Planning Committee for the 27th Nigerian Economic Summit. As you are already aware, the Nigerian Economic Summit is organized annually by the Nigerian Economic Summit Group and the Ministry of Finance, Budget and National Planning, representing the private and public sectors respectively. The annual summit provides a platform for effective partnership and cooperation between the public and private sector for the purpose of charting the course for stable and productive economy. It is also a veritable opportunity to strengthen the existing relationship between the public and private sectors as we look forward to a successful summit in October. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, let me use this opportunity to commend the co-chairs and members of the NES 26 Joint Planning Committee for successfully organizing the 26th Nigerian Economic Summit, even with the COVID-19 pandemic and the NSAS protest. It is gratifying to note that the committee worked assiduously to produce the Green Book and its abridged version, as well as the action plan for the summit in record time. This is not a mean achievement. I'm also pleased to inform you that the summit conclusions and recommendations have been forwarded to the Cabinet Office for the next Federal Executive Council meeting. I am optimistic that steps will be taken by federal ministries, departments, and agencies towards the implementation of the relevant aspects of the summit's recommendation. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, the purpose of our gathering here today is to formally inaugurate the Joint Planning Committee for the 27th Nigerian Economic Summit. The Joint Planning Committee is the supreme organ of the summit planning process and consists of members drawn from the public and private sectors. Ladies and gentlemen, the challenge we have at hand at the moment is on how to grow our economy and ensure that the growth is sustainable to create more jobs for our teeming youth and also reduce poverty and insecurity in the country. Other questions that demand answers include: how can we effectively execute federal government plans, programs, initiatives, and strategies to make meaningful and positive impact in the country? How can we effectively stabilize the macroeconomic environment? How can we raise more revenues to ensure a sustainable fiscal position? It is against this background that the theme for the 27th Nigerian Economic Summit, which is Securing Our Future, the fierce urgency of now, was designed to, among others, assess the current state of the Nigerian economy, foster a people-centered approach to refocus economic, social, and political challenges, galvanize a renewed commitment of stakeholders to urgently and actively prioritize the pursuit of economic growth that can sustainably create jobs, lift millions out of poverty, and enable Nigeria to realize its economic potentials on the global stage, and agree on a compact that compels stakeholders to take critical and immediate actions and institute an efficient monitoring mechanism to ensure key recommendations at the NES 27 are urgently implemented. On this call, let me hasten to add that the government is on the verge of completing the development of the Medium-Term National Development Plan 2021 to 2025. The plan took into consideration the recommendations of the 26th Summit and is designed to put in place policies and programs that will secure a brighter future for all Nigerians. Let me emphasize that members of the committee were carefully chosen in recognition of your experience, expertise, and keen interest in the development of our nation. I therefore urge you to show great commitment to justify the confidence reposed in you. It is against this background that the Joint Planning Committee for the NESG 27 is being inaugurated today. The terms of reference for the Joint Planning Committee are: review the report of the 26th Economic Summit, make all preparatory arrangements for the successful hosting of the 27th Nigerian Economic Summit, including developing program of events and timelines for the implementation of key activities at the summit, articulate the budgetary requirements and the sources of funds for hosting the summit, propose the optimal strategy for funding the activities of the JPC and the summit, mobilize relevant public and private sector stakeholders for the summit, especially at the federal, state, and local government levels, as well as the national and state assemblies, development partners, and other key stakeholders. Prepare the Green Book and Action Plan for NES 27 within 3 months of the completion of the summit, and undertake any other work that may lead to the successful hosting of the summit. Ladies and gentlemen, in order to deepen the success of this year's summit, Mr. David Adeosun, Director of Macroeconomic Analysis Department, will lead other public sector officials as co-chair, while Mrs. Ijeoma Taylor, MD, Alpha African Advisory Limited, will lead our private sector partners as co-chair. With these two personalities taking other eminent members in this committee, I am confident that the outcome of your work will lead to a successful 27th summit. I therefore urge you to bring your wealth of experience to bear on this assignment. On this note, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, it is now my singular honor and privilege to formally inaugurate the Joint Planning Committee for the 27th Nigerian Economic Summit. I wish you fruitful deliberations, and I thank you all for your attention. God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Thank you.
Please join us on the 25th and 26th of October 2021 for the 27th Nigerian Economic Summit, which is themed Securing Our Future, the Fierce Urgency of Now. To pre-register for the summit, please visit www.nesgroup.org/27.
Thank you for listening to our content today. Remember to subscribe to the NESG Radio. Follow us across all social media channels and visit our website www.nesgroup.org/NESG Radio. NESG, in the national interest.